Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, empowering lives through the healing power of horses. We head to a Suncoast Equine Assisted Therapy Center, where volunteers and a team of horses help change the lives of those in our community. And we meet a man who's overcome the odds after a stroke left him partially paralyzed. See how he's able to get back up again with the help of this incredible team. And we meet Tornado. Hear how a cross-country journey saved his life. This and much more straight ahead on Animal Outtakes. The heart of a horse heals a human. It's a saying you may have heard a time or two, but it's something you can actually feel at a place called S.M.A.R.T. The good vibes at the Sarasota Manatee Association for riding therapy are something you cannot deny. From the horses to the humans, it's a place where I can overrides I can't any day of the week. A new executive director, along with an army of dedicated volunteers, are working to grow the nonprofit, all to provide a place that promotes a life of inclusion, respect, and independence. You're going to rock this today, aren't you?
It's going to be a good ride today.
It is going to be a good ride.
S.M.A.R.T is Sarasota Manatee Association for riding therapy. We not only do riding, we do groundwork. Some riders can't ride, so we do groundwork. We have obstacles now for rec riding and for therapy riding. So we're putting in things that are challenging them to go to the next step. Instead of just a small ride, we're making them walk over a pole. Maybe go around a cone differently. We're adding obstacles to their life that'll guide them into a better future themselves.
Magic happens. It's actually pretty interesting because it empowers people. Well, first off, it's outside of the office. So, riders who are normally doing PT and speech therapy and occupational therapy, it's different because it's out of the office. The motion of the horse mimics walking, so it helps open up their hips. Animals just have so much empathic beauty and can add so much. Don, you're going to help us bring that right leg up and over the saddle, watching out for Frida's ears.
I used to ride professionally years ago. I had a stroke in 2010, so it's helped me quite a bit, my body, my strength, and teach me pure dressage also for competition someday. So it's a bunch of stuff in one-to-one lesson, so it's pretty cool.
We are a team, absolutely.
What are you doing out there?
Coaching me.
I'm coaching.
My coach. Yeah.
I'm learning from it too.
Instructor. We're doing something called dressage. Pure dressage means you're handicapped. It's a very Olympic sport, so it's pretty cool.
There's a lot of balls going. Today I had 3 volunteers, I had a horse, and anytime you've got a horse, anything can happen. I call it my saber-tooth butterfly. You never know when something harmless is going to spook a horse. You just never have any idea, so it's always about safety. Anytime you have an upward transition, I'm always checking girths. I'm always constantly trying to get a big picture of what's going on around and stuff like that. So, and that's why I have sidewalkers. Like Dan is getting to the point now where he only needs sidewalkers in the beginning, but I still keep them around just in case.
At least come on and see a horse and be around a horse. It really helps. Then you're brave enough getting a horse. Helps kids quite a bit, of course. And adults should do it too, because it's really great for your body. Center your focus, and your core muscles get really stronger. And the way you walk is the way people walk on a horse. So I explain it. In other words, the way horses move is the way people walk on around. So it really helps your therapy walking. You can't do it without riding. So that was awesome. Start riding again.
So we help veterans, first responders, physically challenged adult and children. We help the children of Manatee County, Sarasota County, is kind of how we are. We're really trying to push into the first responders. I think that they're kind of forgotten in a little bit, from what we need. I love the veteran programs that we have. The heart of a horse heals a human. That's just what they do.
They feel your heartbeat from 4 feet away.
So what brings us to the veteran program here and first responders, we just started a first responder program. So we can use the horses to help them regulate their nervous systems. We explain to them from the beginning, like if you walk up to the animal, if you get within 4 feet of the animal and they feel that you're nervous, they are going to get nervous. They sync their heart rate with you. And so the best way to calm the animal is to calm yourself. So we have them do breath work and start to breathe with the horse. So if you have your exhale be twice as long as your inhale, it actually lowers your heart rate and it lowers your blood pressure.
The biggest thing that I notice is just the satisfaction of knowing that we helped that person get to that goal. Not we got them there, we helped them. You know, we made them do it, but we guided them and we cheered them on and, you know, celebrated with them when they did it. And that's what I want to bring to S.M.A.R.T.
I'm amazed by the way people interact with our herd. Anybody from a 6-month-old baby to an 85-year-old man comes out here and they're immediately uplifted. People come out here and they smile. Wounded warriors who haven't smiled in years hug a horse and they smile.
That good vibe is everything. And, you know, it's in the workplace, it's in the homes. If you got a good vibe, it travels through the horses, travels through the employees, travels through the volunteers, and it travels right through your riders. And I think the thing that S.M.A.R.T has is, you know, is the great vibes. And that's why I think that we are really, I guess, propelling into that future now, because the vibes are really good and everybody's like, wow, I want more.
You don't have to be a horse lover to help us help other people. There are lots of jobs besides horses. There's maintenance work, groundwork, planting flowers, maintaining the beauty of the place. If you do like horses, you've never worked with a horse before, we give you the training you need to be able to work with a horse.
I honestly believe that, you know, and I've always said, man, I've done so many good deeds in my life. What comes around to me? I actually believe that this was it. And like I said, you know, to other people it might be, yeah, he's just saying that. But honestly, I really, really believe that, because I've never been happier in my life than every morning I wake up, knowing that I get a chance to help someone make a difference. And I think this is what I get out of whatever I did good in life for people. This is what I get. I want the volunteers and the, you know, employees and everyone that's affiliated with S.M.A.R.T to be able to celebrate with the, you know, the participants that are here in what they've done.
Well, I do it because it gives me purpose. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm retired now. There's more to life than pickleball and tennis. You know, I want to give. I want to give to the community, and this is empowering, and I truly have seen miracles. I've been teaching for 4 years now. I've been teaching at S.M.A.R.T since October. You know, it just gives me purpose, and it really is magic. You do the things that you see and that people are capable of doing are just truly astounding. Great job, Don.
For much more on the programs at S.M.A.R.T, you can log on to smartriders.org. Stick around. There's more animal outtakes coming up after the break.
Good morning, Mr. Benson. Your breakfast is served.
Time for another day in doggy paradise. I sure am one lucky pup.
Mr. Benson, would you like to go out for your morning stroll? The weather is quite lovely today.
That sounds wonderful. Don't mind if I do. After all that exercise, I think I'd like to lounge by the pool and maybe dip my paws in.
As you wish, sir. Right this way.
What a perfect day. I couldn't imagine being anywhere else but Dante's den while Mom and Dad are away.
At Dante's Den, we pride ourselves in providing the best experience for your beloved pup. Whether it be a day, a month, or a year, Dante's Den should always be at the top of your list for boarding. With an expansive campus, your dog will enjoy daily walks, pool time, and an endless supply of love. Even better, it's all under 24/7 supervision from our wonderful staff. If you're anything like us, your dog's safety and happiness come first. To learn more about Dante's Den, visit dantesden.org.
Our next stop in this week's show is Gainesville, Florida. It's where the Lubee Bat Conservancy is located, a nonprofit that's dedicated to saving bats and their habitats.
These are the big boys. So these guys are Malayan flying foxes. These guys are from Southeast Asia. Now we do keep the sexes separated because we don't want them breeding all the time, but we do know the genetics on these bats. Whenever we do set up breeding groups, which we do have some babies here, we know which father, which male we can put with which group of females, so we maintain high genetic diversity when we do so. Here you go, buddy. So again, these guys are fruit bats, and this is a really good opportunity since he's kind of staying still. So this guy, this is Voodoo in the background. This is his wrist right here. This is his thumb, so they use their thumbs to hold on. And then you can see he's using his toes, and it looks like his knees bend backwards, but they don't. They're very similar, morphologically I should say, to humans and primates, although they're actually more closely related to carnivores than they are to humans or rodents. So in the wild, these guys are considered near threatened. Okay. So their numbers have been plummeting due to deforestation, but really hunting. Overhunting in a lot of the cultures where these guys are found. You're good, he's behind you. They'll eat them. As you can see, there's not a lot of meat on them. So if you're going to make a meal out of them, you have to eat quite a few. And it's really just uncontrollable hunting. So a lot of the conservation programs that Lubee does, you have to work with the local communities. So we work with them to talk about maybe not hunt during maternity season, maybe set limits, maybe set quotas. You can't tell them not to hunt these animals. That's like them coming over here and saying you can't hunt deer, you can't hunt turkey, but you can work with the local communities and some of the other nonprofits over there to teach them about, why don't we try to set limits.
So once they finish getting all the juice and pulp out, they'll actually spit out what is left, and that is an actual example of how they transfer like seeds in the wild. It's like that spat comes out and new trees grow.
Your fruit bats, your flying foxes, your old world fruit bats, they live in trees. Not all bats live in caves and like dark areas. These type of bats need sunlight. And out of the 1,400 species of bats, about 200 of them are your old world fruit bats like this, and just about all of them roost out in the sun.
They are gentle giants. They're not these horrible creatures that have been marketed in movies and books and magazines and all that. These guys are just looking for some fruit. They are just wonderful, gentle creatures. I mean, they have their personalities. They'll argue with each other. They let you know if you're too close.
And people get to do this.
Yes.
They get to scratch the bats.
These are the bat scratchers.
Yeah.
It's very high tech, and it's patent pending, by the way.
That's right.
They're, as we say, they're sky puppies.
We are an Association of Zoos and Aquariums certified related facility. We provide them excellence in animal care and welfare. Our other two main purposes are conservation programs. As I mentioned, working from Florida all the way to Madagascar, Africa, and Solomon Islands, and then education. We have a very, very engaging education program to engage not only the people here in Florida, but around the world. There are two species in here, just so you know. So the bigger ones are the Malayan flying foxes we just saw. The smaller ones are called variable flying foxes. They're also from Southeast Asia. They're also getting hit right now with overhunting and deforestation, but the smaller ones are a little bit more adaptable to human disturbance. So we have 5 babies that were born in here. They're mammals just like us, and they nurse their pups. So the teats aren't out in front like a primate. They're actually underneath the armpits. So I can see over here we have 2 moms and their pups. So the babies are tucked in underneath the mom's armpit area. I should say whenever the babies are born, they're about 10 to 15% of the mom's body weight. So you figure if you have a 150-pound woman, you're talking about 15, 25-pound pup, which is huge. Usually one at a time, although we have had twins. And a lot of people ask, well, why do you have these bats here? Why are you breeding them? What are you going to do with them? Again, most of the bats are going to live here. They're going to live their days here. We do occasionally, rarely loan bats to other zoos, but they have to be AZA accredited zoos like Disney's Animal Kingdom, where we have some of our bats on loan. But we have these bats here because we want people to see them. We want people to be aware of them, to know that these animals exist and want to do something to help them and protect them. You're not going to care about an animal unless you can really see it. These are the teddy bears, the Ewoks. These are called Rodrigues fruit bats, and at one point this was the most endangered mammal in the world. And there were only about 70 bats left in the whole world. And then in the 90s, there was actually one woman on the island. The island's called Rodriguez Island, to the east coast of Madagascar, where the dodos were found. She basically got sick of seeing her island being destroyed, just deforestation. And there were 17 endemic species found on that island. 14 are now extinct, only the bat, this bat right here, and 2 birds are still around. And we're proud to say that for the past, 15, 20 years, we've been funding an educator on that island. Went from 70 bats in the whole world, only found on this one island, to now 20,000 of them. We all hear about poaching and deforestation, overhunting, and species declining and going extinct. There are conservation success stories. This is one of them, and we're extremely proud to be a part of that.
For tickets and more information, you can go to lubee.org. Stick around. There's more Animal Outtakes after the break. At the Farmhouse Animal and Nature Sanctuary, they specialize in all kinds of kinds. The nonprofit takes in several types of animals, many with stories you just can't believe. Recently, we met Tornado, a land tortoise who's looking a lot better these days.
This is Tornado. So Tornado came to us about a year ago. We have a supporter of ours who lives here in Florida, but she was purchasing a property in Arizona. And when she went to look at the house, she found Tornado there with a little bearded dragon and a small dog that the owners left behind, and the realtor was taking care of. The realtor didn't know, though, that this, even though it's a land tortoise, needs water. Tornado, when he came to me, he was smaller than the palm of my hand. He would fit in the palm of my hand, and he was very dehydrated. And he started having necrosis on his head, which is completely healed now. The woman that found him was a retired animal rescuer and a retired vet. So she knew what to do, and she had him put on IV for 3 days to relieve the dehydration. And then when she came to Florida, she brought him down with her and brought him here to us. But he is doing beautifully. He's grown. His shell is nice and healthy. He has a special pelleted food that's made for land tortoises, and he also gets daily vegetables, romaine, usually like leafy greens, spring mix type of greens. He on occasion gets strawberry and melon. He loves strawberries. Broccoli occasionally, spinach occasionally, but mostly just leafy greens. He's going to be here forever. He's actually been to a couple of our events, and he'll be part of our animal outreach bus. We'll have a special tank built in it for him. Animals need special care, and to be able to love the animals the way we do. We want them to know that every animal deserves a good life. Dogs and cats, that's wonderful. So many people take care of them, but there are other animals that need our help too.
We'll be right back with a look at a wild place here in Florida. Animal Outtakes is produced by Dante's Den Foundation, a nonprofit group dedicated to creating the best life for dogs. If you would like to learn more about Dante's Den, donate, or volunteer, visit our website, dantesden.org. And we close our show today with an experience that may be something you want to do if you have some extra time this summer. From Watusi to Nile crocodiles, we didn't know what was going to come next on our drive-thru safari at Wild Florida. And maybe an adventure like this will help you form a connection with the animals that will lead to lifelong conservation efforts for generations to come.
So for the safari, the guests, they come in their own vehicles. We don't allow any feeding from their cars. We do let people roll their windows down. We have some nilgai, it's an Asian antelope species. So we actually have the big mature bull kind of right there by the water. They call them the blue death, so they're like a steel blue color. We have emu, lots of emu.
Yeah. Now, they can cohabitate with all the others.
Yeah, so the big thing is spacing. So one of the things that we're constantly paying attention to and working on is animal management. Which animals can go in with other animals. You don't want to have too many mature bulls, certain animals in the same area. And then this is our nuisance alligator pond. So we fence it off. We put all the nuisance alligators that trappers will get, they'll bring them to us. So there'll be a bunch of them basking up all along. We have a couple crocodiles in here as well. 99% of all nuisance alligators are actually harvested for their meat and their leather. And the thing is we pay more. It's all goes by the foot, right? So a trapper, they don't get paid to trap the alligators. They get paid for the meat and leather. So they have no real incentive to keep the animal alive, except that because it's a lot more work too, right? So if they think it's a nuisance, they can go out and pretty much shoot it, more or less, and minimal effort. So we do pay more for them to actually trap them alive, to bring them here. We have 4 scimitar oryx. That's where the saying is where the unicorn came from, because if you look at the side, it looks like one horn. They're an African antelope species. They're from the deserty areas of Africa too. These are the largest antelope species in the world. So these are eland. They're from Africa. We have 2 females. They have our big breeder bull. This is our breeder ostrich.
Oh my goodness.
He might dance for us. Let's see if he's gonna do it. He's in like breeding season, so if you look at his legs, they're real red and his beak is real red right now. So he's like wanting to breed, and that's his girlfriend.
He's got a girlfriend.
So he's been doing his dance. Anytime the cart comes out here, he does it. And they're a bonded pair. We got them together. They've bred multiple times. Here.
Now this is very marshy.
Yep. So this is all natural cypress habitat, swamp. The deer thrive in it. They like it. And this is a really big cypress head too, and they have full access to go all through it. Which is nice. As they've gotten used to the cars, they actually all stay out now. We have some Asian water buffalo, and then our little Watusi herd, which has a couple little oddball animals mixed into it. And we have a Kuni pig.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a small one too.
I love that hair.
Yeah, the Scottish Highlander cows. Those are the 2. Those 2 are mixed in, then the zebu, they joined into the group, and then we actually have a buffalo.
I just love this hair.
I know.
Look at this. It's just so cute.
Some 4-horn sheep or Jacobson sheep, they're really crazy. Some of them, their horns will actually curl up into like a real weird kind of way. The Mouflon sheep. I mean, one of the big things that we pride ourselves on is just kind of the the nature of the whole safari. It's very laid back. The animals are all kind of a lot of times just doing this. They're relaxing. They're really close. You can tell they're happy. They're grazing. We kind of let them be more natural out here, so we can be kind of hands off. But it takes a lot of time as far as just learning the animals, their behaviors, the things they need. I always say it's kind of like having children. There's 100 different ways to raise a child. Not, they're all good ways. There's no specific way, and it's the same thing with these guys. We try to kind of see what other facilities do and kind of replicate, the best parts of how they do stuff with other ones, and try to come up with just an overall good outcome and how to do things. So we're constantly learning though. So as far as just the time and dedication to watching the animals, seeing what works, what goes good here, with our area, our climate, our habitat, the animals we have, that's where a lot of the time and work comes into.
Well, this has been a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Good, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
We hope you had fun and learned a thing or 2 along the way, and we'll be back here again next week with even more animals and some wild adventures. Until then, thanks for watching